welcome back. Today I am very excited to do this video, as you may be able to tell by my appearance. This is not how I would normally look, but today I am doing the I love the 80s tag, so I thought I would get a little bit into the spirit of the 80s. So if you love the 80s or were around in the 80s, give this video a thumbs up. I was very young in the 80s. I wasn't a teenager in the 80s or anything like that, but I was around for it, and I do love the era for some reason. I love the music, the movies. The fashion is interesting. I don't know if I would want a lot of the stuff to come back in fashion or if I would wear any of it today, but it's fun to dress up and reminisce. So let's get right into the I love 80s tag. So the first question is favorite 80s movie. I probably didn't watch a lot of the popular 80s movies when I was younger. I would have to go with any Disney movie, especially the Sunday night Disney movies, because I loved watching those as a kid. I would always watch them with my mom, and it would be kind of our little thing to do on Sunday nights. So I enjoyed watching those. Some that I can remember loving are Polly, which is a takeoff of Pollyanna. The Parent Trap, but it was newer versions of the Parent Trap, such as Parent Trap Hawaiian Honeymoon, and I can't recall what the other was called, but basically Haley Mills, the characters from the original movie, are all grown up, and now there are triplets, and it's about these triplets. So I enjoyed those ones, and I'm sure there were many others. Let's see, Mr. Boogedy, Bride of Boogedy, Richest Cat in the World, tons of them that I watched as a kid that most of you have probably never heard of, but I enjoyed very much. And of course, you know, all the Disney animated movies that came out in the 80s. Those were what I enjoyed watching as a kid. As I've gotten older, I enjoy the more classic 80s movies, such as anything by John Hughes, The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, all of those ones. And I'm sure there's others, but I can't think of them at the moment. Oh, Mannequin. I loved Mannequin when I was younger and as I'm older, and enjoyed that very much. Has Kim Cattrall in it. They made a sequel as well, which I don't think it was as good, and that had, I think, Christy Swanson in it, but I definitely enjoyed the original Mannequin movie. The next question is favorite 80s TV show. I would have to say my favorite 80s TV shows were definitely Kids Incorporated and the Mickey Mouse Club. Both were on the Disney Channel. They aired back to back, and I would come home every day after school and watch them, and I loved them. I'd sing along with Kids Incorporated. I loved Mickey Mouse Club as well. A lot of the people who were on those shows later went on to become bigger stars. On Kids Incorporated, there was Jennifer Love Hewitt, Stacy, who is now Fergie, and then on the Mickey Mouse Club, of course, you have Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, all of those, Ryan Gosling, all of them have gone on to do bigger and better things. But of course I just knew them as Mickey Mouse Club and Kids Incorporated cast members then. So I enjoyed those shows very much. So I would have to say those were my favorite 80s TV shows. Along those lines, the next question is favorite 80s cartoon. And I probably watched a lot of cartoons, but the ones that stick out in my mind are Rainbow Bright. I loved watching Rainbow Bright. Care Bears, I probably enjoyed watching Care Bears as well. Garfield, I remember watching a lot of Garfield. So those are the 80s cartoons that I can recall watching. Next is favorite 80s musical artist. When I was growing up in the 80s, I would have to say I probably was not old enough to listen to the popular artists, so most of what I listened to was probably Disney movies, musicals, and I also recall listening to Raffi. I wouldn't say he was a favorite, but I do remember listening to him. But as I've gotten older, I've listened to more of the popular 80s music, and I love 80s music, especially 80s pop. It would be hard to list all of the artists that I love, but the ones that come to mind are Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, Bon Jovi. There's just too many to mention, but pretty much any 80s pop I love. Next is favorite 80s toy line. I would definitely have to go with Barbies and My Little Pony because I could play in our basement for hours with Barbies and My Little Pony and entertain myself. And I recall having quite a variety as well, so that would have to be my favorite 80s toy line. The final question is, what did you wear back then? I recall wearing my hair like this in a side ponytail, sometimes down with the side ponytail, often crimped. I don't have a crimper anymore, obviously, so I couldn't do that for you today. I wore a lot of huge bows in my hair, a lot of ruffled dresses, and probably a lot of bright colors or colorful patterns. And yeah, so the typical 80 kid style, but jellies. I loved wearing jellies all the time. If you don't know what jellies are, you might want to Google it, but they're basically plastic shoes, and I loved having them in every color with sparkles. Loved jellies. I hope you enjoyed this 80s themed video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe if you haven't already. It would really help me out. If you have, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Comment down below what you remember from the 80s. Fashion, memories, pop culture. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!